Hello folks, welcome to another episode of Yoga Dave's Hobby Podcast, the podcast where I talk about everything from tabletop RPGs to tabletop board games, tabletop war games, and everything that those particular hobbies encompass, including painting and collecting and all the rest of that kind of stuff. So first things first, we're going to get the plugs out of the way. First of all, Glasgow District Wargamer Society, of which I am a member, are currently we're advertising for people who would not traditionally come down to the club. So RPGers, board gamers, and fantasy gamers. If you live in the Glasgow area, every 2 weeks the GDWS, or Glasgow District Wargamer Society, meets, and we're encouraging you to come along. So, you know, if you're a DM looking for a venue, I know it's only every 2 weeks, but it's still a venue to use. At some point, I will probably be running Legends of Hamanshiron playtest out of there. So, if you're a board gamer and you need somewhere to go and play some games, I play board games. There's a couple other board gamers, non-traditional board gamers like Star Wars Legion. There's a couple of guys that play Legion. There's a couple of us that play Malifaux, but haven't played in a while and probably won't play again until after 3rd edition is out. What else? I play 40k. There's 40k players there. You know, we're not all historical gamers, but we have that what's the word? Reputation for being very closed off. And what we're trying to do now is show people that no, we're quite happy for you to come in, come play, you know, be a member of the club and, you know, participate in things. I will be there next meeting, which is the 23rd of June. I will be doing a playtest of our scenario for Claymore, which is Dragon Rampant, using the Dark Sword, Song, Ice and Fire figures. So we'll be doing that. So some of them have been painted by me, some of them have been painted by Dave Watson, the other guy that will be playing part of the scenario. So basically, first 2 meetings are free. After that, you can either join, become a full member, and I don't know how much the membership will be now because the AGM is in September, so it'll be a smaller amount than the normal membership. And then if you just want to hang at a table fee, everyone that sits at the table pays a table fee, right? It's not just the one person. If it's a whole bunch of RPGers, £3 each, I think. Yeah, which isn't bad because, you know, I think that's the same price as Common Ground is. So, you know, you're not paying an inordinate amount of money. And also, if you want to use the terrain that's there, the mats that are there, all the rest of that kind of stuff, we've got terrain, we've got mats. You don't need to bring your own. It's all there. So yeah, that next meeting's the 23rd of June. You want to come along, come along. There'll be free tables. Also, G3, so that's Glasgow Gaming Group, are doing the Glasgow Game Gathering on the 29th of June. So that's the next Saturday. I will be there at some point, helping out with the display or the participation game. I'm not sure if it's a display or participation game from Glasgow District Wargamer Society, but I will be there at some point. I'll not be there all day because I've got work that night. So, yeah. I think that is probably it for the plugs. Oh, no. Swordsfall, the Afropunk RPG setting, is out of pre-order now, but if you go to the website, there's loads of cool apparel and stuff, loads of cool extra bits and pieces. When it obviously becomes, you know, gets printed, you know, if you just sign up for the newsletter, you know, I will be buying a copy at some point. Obviously, I never got in with the bloody pre-order, but I highly recommend because Brandon's fucking cool. The guy that wrote Swordsfall. good guy. Helped me quite a bit with the Legends of Hamanshiron stuff. Even if it's been indirectly. A lot of his advice that he's posted has been very, very helpful. So that's another. That's the plugs for this week. So, obviously, I've been away for a couple of weeks. I've not posted a podcast for a couple of weeks. I've not posted this kind of podcast for a couple of weeks. Obviously, I posted the Infinity RPG one. I'm kind of annoyed with the community at the moment. Not the whole community, just certain portions of it. The white fucking supremacist part of it, for the most part. And they seem to be coming out the woodwork from fucking everywhere. And overly defending themselves. And then you get people who class themselves as allies of the people of colour in the community and the LGBT QIA. Is that it? I cannot ever remember the whole acronym, but the non-straight white person communities basically. It's fucking hurting my head because they're coming out and going, oh, well, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, and it's like, why the fuck are you telling anyone what they should and shouldn't be doing? You know, how they should be reacting to racism or bigotry or homophobia or transphobia or that kind of stuff. It's like, really? Who the fuck gives us the right to be telling people how they should fucking feel about what they're feeling, what they're going through, what they're dealing with? Yeah, it's fucking me off somewhat, as you can probably tell. I never ever class myself as anything other than friends with the people who I'm friends with, right? And cool with the people I'm cool with. I never call myself an ally or any of the rest of that kind of shit, because what the fuck, man, is that all about? What you know? Even if somebody who's a person of colour or LGBTQIA plus whatever it is, I'm fucking terrible, I know, calls you an ally, it's like, well, yeah, cool, that's fine. I don't know what the fuck to say. Things like that. It's like, aye, alright. I mean, my best friend is bisexual. He's probably the fucking coolest person I have ever had dealings with in my life. But you know, that's why he's my friend. He's not my friend because he's bisexual. You know, I've got really good friends who are gay. I've got really good friends who are lesbians. You know, Muslims. You know, all these kind of people different from me. I mean, I am very fucking privileged that I'm white and I'm straight. But you know, I have faced bigotry in my life because I grew up Catholic. I grew up in the west of Scotland during some turbulent times in Northern Ireland. And obviously it comes across here because of Celtic and Rangers, the whole Catholic Protestant thing. You know, I was about 5-year-old and I got called a Fenian by my next door neighbour. I had to go. I went in and said to my dad, "What's a Fenian?" And I told him, and I thought my dad was fucking gonna kill the guy. But you know, that kind of thing I've dealt with, but it's different because it's not something you can see, you know, or it's not something that's apparent when I'm walking down the street with my partner, holding hands. It's just like, well, I can do that, but just because I was brought up Catholic doesn't, you can't see it, you know. You know, my two of my gay friends walk down the street hand in hand, then it's apparent that they're gay, so it's something that can get targeted. You know, Asian friends walk down the street, and because of the colour of their skin, they're going to get abuse. They do get abuse of people. And it pisses me off, man. I wish I could do something about it. And, obviously me talking about it in a podcast that isn't listening to that many fucking people isn't going to be a massive change to people's minds. But what I'm going to do is give you a couple of names of people that you should be following on Twitter. If you hold on 2 seconds. So at Swordsfall1 is one of them, for fucking sure, because Brandon's fucking cool as fuck. The Critical Bard is another one. To do at POC Gamer or Panzer Lion is another one. Sivad is another one. Who else should you be looking at? Mistress Valkyrie of the Dungeon. Misty Vander's another one. And Amber Queen of Dragons is another one. Occasionally I'll throw out a bunch of people that you should be going to follow on Twitter. If you're a TTRPGer or a board gamer or whatever. I'll be throwing names out there for you to go check out. That's my rant for the day, I think, because it was a long rant. It was about 10 minutes. So what has been happening with Legends of Hamanshiron is we have now got a Facebook page, we now have a Facebook group, we obviously have a separate Twitter account from my Twitter account. We have an Instagram that's got nothing on it. We've got a YouTube channel with nothing on it. We've got a Twitch channel with nothing on it. And we're working on a Patreon for you to help us out with, getting things going, getting artwork done. There's going to be a couple of different tiers. One of the tiers, the highest tier, will allow you to name a minor noble, an adventurer, and a commoner, and another NPC within the game. And what will happen is also, when we go to print, you will get a free copy of the rulebook. Well, I suppose you will have paid for it, but if you think about it that way, but also there'll be raffles over and above all the stuff that we'll do as we get more and more money, and there'll be prizes throughout it. So what's going on with it is I have obviously started the new Twitter account, and I've been posting lore to that. I've been posting lore to the Facebook page. Obviously that's going to be been going into the group. So the group and the list are going to be two ways of us getting you playtest stuff for the game. We're still pushing for end of September to get the first playtests out. And what's going to happen with it is anyone that does a Twitch stream or a YouTube or a podcast of the live stream, or the live stream of the playtest adventures, when we put them to publish, put them out to publish, the person or the group that we think has done the best and built the best one, played it the best, which obviously is subjective, but it's between the five of us we'll decide what the best one. We're going to take the PCs that they built, or the the pre-generated ones that they've used, and we're going to make them the canon ones for that particular adventure. The character sheets are going to go in with the adventure series, and also what they'll get is a free copy of the main rulebook. They'll get a free copy of the Adversaries Codex and the first source book, which they will also get a copy of the adventure for them. And these will be all signed by everyone involved. So yeah, that's a little incentive thing that I wanted to put in there for obviously people to go, well, it's worth us, doing this, because we could get a free copy of the rules when they actually come out. Obviously, if somebody's a Patreon, they're going to get a free copy anyway, but that could be 2 or 3 copies to a group, which I'm not expecting Legends of Hamanshiron to take over from Pathfinder or D&D, because obviously this is going to be an indie published set of rules. We don't have any money for anything right now. We're all working for free right now. Eventually, once obviously the Kickstarter or whatever kicks in, we've got to price it up that that money is, we're going to get our money back for our time and all the rest of that kind of stuff. And obviously, as we work on everything, we're getting money. We're paying for artists, we're paying for layout, we're paying for graphic design and all the rest of that kind of stuff. We don't want it to be some lazy ass fucking thing that we're putting together. We want it to be professional, and to that end, that's why I'm putting the Patreon together right now. There'll be a couple of different tiers, as I said. If I bring it up, Patreon 26. So we're gonna have 4 different tiers. There's going to be one for $3 per month or more per month. With this tier, you get to see some cool stuff that non-Patreons don't, like how we get to where we are in the rules and videos that are exclusive to Patreons. And then with the next one up, which is $5 or more per month, this tier you get to see some cool stuff non-Patreons don't. Obviously, the same kind of stuff as you get with the Name Peasant, but also obviously you'll get mention in the main rulebook as a Patreon. With Name Soldier, in addition to what you get access to at Name Peasant, when you first subscribe, you get to name a random NPC of Hamanshiron, which is pretty cool. With Named Adventure, that's $10 or more per month, same as the other 2 tiers. But in addition to what you get named Soldier, you get to when you join, you get to name an adventure NPC. You choose the class, race, whether light or dark or neutral. That adventure will be used in a future publication. It won't be used in the ones that are going to be playtest adventures, but later on we'll be doing more, and you can name them. And then Named Noble, that's $20 or more per month. In addition to what you get Named Soldier and Named Adventurer, when you join, you get to name a random minor noble of Hamanshiron, and you will receive a free copy of the main rulebook when we publish. So that's all of the tiers. So what we're going to be working towards is earning base goals. So once we've earned $500, we'll commission some art that you guys will see before anyone else from 2 awesome artists. Once we've earned 1,000, we'll commission the cover for the main rulebook. The artist has already been contacted, and we'll reveal who it is and everything in the course of the time. Once we reach 2,000, we'll run a raffle, and the winner will be immortalised as a major NPC of Hamanshiron. They will choose the race and name, and their likeness will be used in illustrations of that particular character. That's the plan. to have little things that come about, and we'll do them at random. We'll not just do them when we've got, the X amount of money. But that's the goals right now that we've got. So it's not up yet, but we're still working on things right now that I need to discuss with various people. So yeah, I mean that's the plans right now. I think that's it from Legends of Hamanshiron right now. Obviously, I will be doing a development Twitch tomorrow, I think, where I talk about various bits and pieces. And obviously, when everything's starting to come together, we'll do more and more, and I'll be releasing lore as and when, normally once or probably 2 or 3 times a week, maybe every day, depends on how much time I have to do it. So yeah, that's it on Legends of Hamanshiron. I was going to talk about the contrast paints from Games Workshop, because I find the idea behind it quite interesting. I think it's quite good for new gamers coming into the hobby. It means they can paint faster. When you're doing horde armies, it means you can paint them a lot faster. You're not taking fucking forever to paint a horde. But the thing is, I've not actually had an opportunity to try them yet. I've seen videos that look interesting. For doing metallic stuff, they look really interesting, but to be honest with you, I'm not going to use them day to day. I'm still going to paint the same way as I always paint. The only time I'll ever use them is probably for commissions, because I don't do horde armies myself. I fucking hate horde armies. I hate playing them. I hate playing against them. So yeah. Yeah, as I said, I've seen videos of them being used, and they really do look very interesting. And when I'm doing coloured metallics, it's something that I'll use for that. But it's not something I'm overly excited about. But initially, I was quite excited, and then I thought to myself, well, what are you going to use them for? And I'm not bashing. I'm no way bashing them. It's like, what are you going to use them for? You're not going to use them every day because you like the way that you paint. And don't get me wrong, I haven't painted in about 3 months, but I love painting. I love the painting the way that I do. You love using my airbrush. It's just going to be another tool for me. It's not going to be a massive game changer. And I don't think that's the point in it either. I don't think it's meant to be a game changer. I think it's meant to help younger, less confident new gamers to paint their armies so they feel more confident. I think it's a gateway to the old Games Workshop style of painting and other styles of painting as well. As I said, I don't think it's going to... I mean, it's going to be a game changer in the way that it'll help younger, less experienced painters to paint their armies really quickly, to get them out and get them on a table painted. I mean, let's be honest, I've been gaming for 30 odd years, and I have hundreds of unpainted figures. And I have hundreds of unpainted figures because it takes fucking forever for me to paint shit sometimes. It takes me forever to get round to stuff because I've got other stuff going on. I don't have time to sit and paint all day, every day, unless I'm getting bloody paid to do it. So, it's going to be good. But the thing that I found quite annoying about how they've done it is when it went for pre-order. They're like, oh, we didn't anticipate how much paint we were going to need. How it's like, I don't understand Games Workshop's planning nowadays, because Adeptus Titanicus, they didn't expect there to be as high I want as there was. Necromunda seemed to be that way as well. So did the Shadow War Armageddon. Didn't expect that to be as popular as it was. Everything seems to be like, well, we didn't expect it to be as popular as it was, or it is. And you're like, well, is that planned? So it's more, people have less issue with paying more money, because the new contrast paints are really expensive. They're about $450, I think, for a pot, which is a wee bit bigger than the regular one, but at the same time, it's still quite expensive for a pot of paint. Because I buy Vallejos for like $2.50, and you buy army painter for £2, not even £2 each, and you're like, you buy coat d'arms for $2.50. I think Foundry are about the same price, and you get more in their pots. With Vallejo, you have to fucking thin them down quite a lot. You can't just, you don't just thin them a little bit like you do with Games Workshop paints. But there's as much in a Games Workshop paint when it's thinned down, and I thin mine down so you get them a better consistency and everything, and they last longer. But there's the same in a Games Workshop paint once it's thinned down as the thickened Vallejo paint is, as the thickened army painter is. So it's quite expensive as it is. That's why I kind of think Games Workshop do these kinds of things, and that it's maybe me just being suspicious as fuck, but they put the prices up and they don't release enough copies for the demand that there's going to be. And I mean, Games Workshop have been in this for a very long time. They know how much anticipation there is for certain things, yet for some very strange reason, they're never able to have enough of an item that excuse me, that there's demand for, and that just, I mean, as I said, that's probably me just being suspicious and probably not how things are, but it seems to be every single time there's something that is anticipated and there's a lot of call for it, they don't seem to have enough of it. I mean, that's just me. That's me throwing my thoughts out there. And obviously they've got to send out X amount to the shops, because they've got to have it there to be sold, and they've got to send it out to partners, and it's got to go, to America and China. Was it China? Yeah, because they've got a place in China now. All over the world. But at the same time, you have been doing this long enough that you can anticipate the level of how much people are going to want to buy it. So, I think it's a little suspicious in that fact. But they're doing it so people don't go, oh, well, it's $4.50 for a fucking bottle of this. It's quite expensive. That's my thought behind it. But as I say, I'm suspicious. I'm very suspicious a lot of the time. So yeah, that's that. So in the next couple of weeks, I am going to be talking to the guys at Veil of the Void. At least one of them. It's just a couple of months before Veil of the Void gets published, so I'm going to try and get an interview arranged with them in the next week or two, so I can sit down and once that's done, I'll release that podcast. hopefully just before it goes live. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. So if you've got any questions about Veil of the Void, pass them along to the email. And also Order Publishing. They are doing, Order Publishing, obviously, guys behind Dominion horror role-playing system. So I'm going to have them on to discuss the rules. I want to have Brandon from Swordsfall on at some point, but I think I'll have him closer to when the rules come out, or the setting comes out, after Kickstarter's done, after the pre-orders are done. Obviously, when it actually goes live, I'll have him on, and I'll talk about it to him nearer the time. But also, if you guys can think of anyone that you think would be really cool for me to have on, I will find a way of contacting them. I will find a way of talking to them and getting them to come on if I can. Obviously, I want varying viewpoints. I want varying people on. I don't want to just have, wargamers on. I don't want to just have people from wargames companies. That's why I'm doing Veil of the Void and Ordelia, and I want to have Brandon at Swordsfall on, because they're all RPG guys, but they're also very different viewpoints, very different games, and very different backgrounds. Because obviously, Veil of the Void is a science fantasy, so it's based in space, and Ordelia is horror, and then Swordsfall is Afropunk. So it's very, very different. It's very, very different viewpoints, very different systems, very different settings. So I want that variety. I'm sure at some point I'll have somebody more mainstream on, but that's too easy. that's too easy to get viewers in, or listeners in, to have somebody who is massively mainstream. So I think that's going to be it for today. I know it's a short podcast. I know the last couple of podcasts that I've actually been talking in have been quite short, but I want to talk about. I want to hold on to a couple of things until later on to talk about. So I'm going to end the podcast there. So Glasgow District Wargamer Society, obviously, as I said earlier on, looking for people to come in and join the club, do RPGs, do board games, do whatever you want. I think the table fee's £3 after the first two meetings, and then become a member if you want. Become a member, or just come down when you can come down, and it'll be £3. Glasgow Game Gathering, 29th of June. Be there at some point. I'll be helping out with the Glasgow District Wargamer Society table, but I'll be also bimbling round the show. And when Swordsfall becomes live, obviously I will tell you about it, because I will be plugging it, and I will be trying to get Brandon on to do the show. I'm going to say good day and happy hobby, guys.